Alright, I'm here now. I'm a little tired, but I'm gonna try to make this work. Hello everyone, welcome to Mastafran art stream, and thank you Jasper Fox for the follow. I'm real happy you're here to catch me doing my fine little art stream and stuff here. Hope everyone's doing great. I've been doing pretty well for myself. For those who are new to this fine stream, I'm Mastafran, artist, animator, retro game enthusiast-ish. I like the art of retro games overall. Don't play as much as I want to, but, you know, I do my best. Hope everyone's doing well, and welcome to my fine little art stream. Oh, hey, Freckles. Yes, gonna be doing some lurking. Thank you. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your drawing as much as I'm going to try to get in my own drawing for today. Gonna be doing a little bit of pixel art stuff for Black Mask, because I hadn't done that all week, and, you know, instead of feeling guilty about it, I'm going to at least try to get in at least an hour for the entire week. Because that's a tough thing about doing, I guess, creative projects, is that you're fighting the universe to just get time to draw, especially between having a day job and, you know, just trying to just live through life. I had to deal with a power problem, because there were some tornadoes where I live, so, you know, kind of need to deal with a lot of power outages and all that jazz. But, you know, I think things will be stable, because it's really sunny today, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I probably should mention that it's currently, June 12th, Cyber Year 2026. And yeah, it's been a decent, I'd say, summer day overall. Yeah, I'm kind of just doing a bunch of stuff at work to kind of just live my life and you know, just keep myself maintained. I also have been taking on little commissions, which I will show later today, and kind of just getting some like little basic preliminary sketches with those commissions. I actually been like working on, I think 2 out of 3 of those commissions. The other 2 are kind of like, they're icon commissions, but I still need to chat more with the other people. But yeah, currently I'm doing commissions at the moment of some pixel art commissions, and that will be, you know, sometime later. But right now I do want to at least get a tiny bit of stuff for, you know, just Black Mask development. For those who are new to what Black Mask is, Black Mass is a, you know, this entire art stream is a chronicle of my game development progress on Black Mass, a stealth action platform about a raccoon treasure hunter. And it's essentially a, it's still in development. Me and a programmer friend have been working on a game demo since 2020, and we're trying to at least get something playable sooner or later. So a lot of these streams of my pixel art has been me just drawing all the assets for Black Mask, and a lot of it's done overall, or at least a lot of my art stuff is plenty for what's essentially a playable demo that looks decent, and now all that's left is for, you know, my programmer to make it all work together cohesively. So, you know, let's you know, give him a big round of applause, because he is working his ass off on his vampire schedule, because he works nights, and, you know, he's doing everything he can within all the time he's got. You know, he has a real, you know, software development job, so he can't really do game development all the time. But that's kind of just the breaks of indie development, and, you know, I'm coming to terms with myself, kind of just seeing, okay, how can I kind of do this without feeling completely anxious and awkward about it all? Well, I mean, these things take time, so it is what it is with that. But yeah, currently I am in the process of trying to at least nudging some more time with Black Mass, cutscenes. I can zoom out right here, and essentially in context of this cutscene, this is essentially a part where Cole is looking around on a mystery island for the lost temple that he's looking for the big like MacGuffin treasure for. It's for gameplay purposes supposed to be like a notable like power-up upgrade. I still need to like confirm like the big like storyline reasons to make that MacGuffin work, but other than that, it's going to be right there, and I'm kind of just making them as I go. And I've also been working on like other little cutscenes. This is a general running cutscene of Cole escaping pirates as he has gotten in trouble with these pirates, and they have essentially betrayed Cole in his expedition where he's hired a bunch of pirates to help him find the treasure, only to be betrayed and mutinied and all that stuff. So that's kind of the big notable thing with the story of the demo. And everything else is mostly kind of just me kind of just figuring other tasks out. Currently working on a little jump animation where Cole will jump off the ship railing. Probably show off like where this railing is plus the background. That's not it. Yeah, you're close enough. Yeah, showing off the little background here. And right now I'm kind of just working on like a little jump cutscene where Cole is jumping off the railing and down on the like ship deck where he is showing himself way shorter than Captain Rhodes. And of course I'm gonna rework this arm so Cole has more like arms at rest type thing. But essentially that's going to be a general gist of it. And there's other little text things. Yeah, this is a little bit of a sample of all this stuff. And I got a few other drawings here, a little Final Fantasy animation that I've kind of just been working on animating. Kind of just working with whatever I've got. Probably won't work on this on stream, but it's kind of just been on my computer desk for a long time. Plus, I've been working on like getting a Red Mage and Thief drawn because I realized I want to just include all the other Final Fantasy classes in there. Of course, these guys will be animated, just I need to put them around someplace, so that is very long term, but this is me kind of experimenting with pixels and stuff like that. But yeah, let's see if I can at least spend 45 minutes to just get some work done on this before jumping on other things, because I feel like I've kind of just been neglecting all my stuff, and I just want to figure out how I can just get the rest of the just get some work done. So I might kind of just silence out and kind of just lock in, but feel free to ask any questions you like. I'm pretty open to just answering cool art questions or talking about stuff that I've been up to, because I haven't really been up to much. Again, had to deal with a bit of like a power outage because there's a few tornadoes out where I live, so that's kind of just been that. Plus I've been prepping for a convention in Indiana called Crusader Con, which is a toys and games festival. And out of context, this sounds like a freaking weird like fantasy LARP thing. I can only hope that it's very D&D focused, because Crusaders is kind of a weird I guess Crusaders just sounds just weirdly out of context, but I've met the coordinators of that, and they seem like they're not pieces of shit, so, you know, that's one of those things where you kind of just gotta do that. But yeah, I'll be in Indiana tomorrow, and I'm going to be selling my various different stickers and play mats and some of my comics, just the remnants of my comics, because I plan to sell out of Shirley's Day, and I don't plan on reprinting like Shirley's Day as a single book. The next printing of Shirley's Day is just going to be a collection of just all my old comics, because I feel like it's harder and harder to justify the more like floppy comics, I'd say. So I'm kind of just in the process of just making a larger collected book with that, but that has been on my mental wish list for literally years, and I have not gotten to that ever. You know, I could probably, yes, I could just use this. Yeah, and I'll just switch colors. I don't know why I'm kind of like constantly reselecting colors and then not. Oh yeah, because I will also frequently erase colors when. I wonder if I could like make my shortcut key eraser instead. Let's just do that. See if I can just make it just a shortcut key. Darn, I can't do an actual shortcut. Let's see. Action modifiers. Mouse wheel, mouse wheel, mouse wheel. Are there no like right-click commands? Yeah, because I could swear they're like actual right-click commands. Yeah. If there's kind of shots of shit, I'll just come back to this later. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's weird because even if I flip my pen and make it yeah, even if I flip my pen and put it down to 1 pixel, it still never feels right because the Wacom pen's a little fatter than the general pixel art thing. Plus, the tablet doesn't really do the tablet doesn't really, or at least Aseprite itself doesn't really do Aseprite does not do these little streams, right? Or not streams, but these little leaflets here. So I kind of have to make it look more had to kind of just work a little hard to just make this working. But yeah, I do want to at least get more of this foliage done because I've been working on this for longer than I should. But I'm trying to at least get as much down. I think one thing that's probably just giving me hang-ups is that I'm constantly afraid of just letting the foliage just be messy foliage, you know? trying to just be crazy precise and clean with a lot of this pixel art when I'm like, no one's going to look at this background for more than 5 minutes. Like, freaking step back and kind of just get to the rest of the thing. And, you know, that's true. Like, a lot of times I will care more about background details, or at least fine details, too much, because I'm so used to being like, okay, I just be detail-oriented, and that's how I do a good job. Not realizing, you know, that's perfectionism. And perfectionism is essentially the death of creativity, because, you know, you're trying to optimize the fun out of, you know, what you're drawing and stuff like that. Plus, no one's going to be specifically paying attention to this, so you have to kind of just be more, kind of have to get yourself to be in a less, I guess, uptight sort of mindset when it comes to doing things like background landscapes and trying to essentially do very, very fine digital painting stuff. And I've been trying to just get myself to subscribe to that mindset more often, because there's a lot of times where I kind of just wonder why I'm spending so much effort trying to like do stuff perfect, you know, quote unquote, instead of just getting it down. And I mean, the obvious answer is, you know, you fear looking like an idiot, you fear looking bad, or at least I fear looking bad in general. Because, you know, you spend a lot of your time feeling like, oh wow, you want to be this, you know, top tier artist and stuff like that. Not realizing, like, being a top tier artist won't really mean much. You know, like, okay, you're a top tier artist, cool, but it's not really changing a lot. Like, you're still going to need to go back to the drawing desk and draw more top tier art. Like, you know, the drawing that you believe that you're gonna feel liked for isn't exactly the drawing that it's going to just solve you from, I don't know, getting away from not drawing. You still have to draw, so yeah, I have to get myself back into that mindset of, hey, you don't have to be so uptight about your own work. You can kind of just veg out. Hell, you can even half-ass things sometimes. Like, sometimes I keep telling myself, oh, I can't half-ass this because everyone else half-asses everything. And I don't want to be known as the guy who half-asses everything because, you know, I want to have good standards, you know? I get angry when somebody's, like, not, you know, being up to standards and they're getting away with it. Meanwhile, whenever I half-ass something, disaster strikes and I end up getting the blame for it. And, you know, that can be frustrating as a person trying to just do right. And sometimes, you know, I can sometimes internalize that personal frustration, you know, and you gotta kind of just tell yourself, hey, it's not the end of the world if you don't have every tiny little detail down to, you know, the little minutia and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm trying to just get myself to just be maybe not happy, but like more content with just doing the minimum to just demonstrate that this is, you know, just pretty straightforward with that. So that's the big hope. Welcome, Clumsy Golem. Thanks for the follow. I'm currently working on some little game development stuff for myself and getting some stuff done for this game I've been, I guess, neglecting working on Pixar for a bit, but yeah, it's kind of just getting done. So I'm kind of just yapping about the nature of doing art and trying to feel like you're not you're not worse for not doing art 24/7, you know. Because that's also another thing that, you know, one can feel guilty about is, you know, you claim you want to be this big notable artist, but then you feel like a fraud because you tell everyone, yeah, you're a guy who does do the art stuff, but you haven't drawn anything specifically in months. And you know, people kind of just ask, or no, they don't actually ask, they don't explicitly ask, but you're kind of in that like condescension where they're like, okay, sure, and they kind of just leave you to your own devices and sort of not take you seriously. And you know, you kind of have to fight for, you know, that just sense of seriousness and time with that stuff, because a lot of times you tend to, just not feel as if this kind of stuff matters to anyone else but you. So, oh wow, real nice. Pop in for Mastodon. Fantastic. Yeah, glad that got a few folks from Mastodon kind of just seeing this. Mastodon is interesting because I feel like with Mastodon, it is the very definition of the UI is probably half the reason why people aren't really vibing with a social media platform, because arguably Mastodon is as fine as Blue Sky, but essentially it's just so plain looking, and people tend to be confused by the instance system when it comes to Mastodon. Because, yeah, I was initially confused by the instance system, because you have like Mastodon.social, but then there's Mastodon.art, and then I think there's the .gay Mastodon, where you have like a lot of the LGBT folks and all that stuff. Happy Pride Month, by the way, even though it's like the middle of the month, but whatever. But yeah, you have a lot of these different Mastodon instances, so it can be real confusing for someone who's not crazy savvy with computers, other than, you know, you log into a website and that's where your friends are. So far, I mean, Mastodon's pretty alright. I think one thing that I could probably stand to do more often is actually comment on people's posts on Mastodon, because I post my art and I kind of just leave. I don't really stick too long on Mastodon. But, I mean, Mastodon's okay. I can, you know, like Blue Sky, if you add alt text, you know, you'll get a bit more, views and stuff like that. But luckily, you know, you can just use the same alt text, and I do my best when it comes to alt text, because I actually just copy and paste a lot of alt text, so I sort of have a mini effort to make it the best possible alt text, you know, make sure it's really descriptive and actually, you know, describes things, and not like be like this joke extra thing where it's like, haha, can you believe this, yada yada? And, you know, I mean, that's funny, but that's not really going to help someone who actually needs the blind text, or, you know, the alt text and stuff like that. So, you know, that's pretty decent. Plus, it gets in writing practice, which is also another underrated thing with doing alt text, is the more you write, and I'm trying to get my ass to just write things just in a general sense, just get myself to just write more often, and doing a lot of these alt text posts have been helpful for that, because, you are getting yourself to write descriptions of what your characters look like or what the action is happening. And I try to, like, get narratively descriptive when it comes to that kind of stuff. Try to just get some, like, try to just talk about the action, the mood of stuff like that. And, it's been working as far as I know. Well, I've been at least attracted to the posts that I make. So, that's been pretty decent. Though I can say that a lot of the alt text also kind of got me less up for just random willy-nilly posting, because I kind of set myself up so I have to post alt text before I post an image on a thing. And so, it can be a bit of a pain in the butt when either you want to, like, do a reaction and you realize, oh, you should probably at least put, like, a description here for anyone actually reading your reaction. It can be kind of just, you could probably think, like, oh, that's dumb. Why would you need to, like, put alt text for a personal, like, reaction thing? But it's like, well, it's there in my media tab. Of course I'm gonna at least put it there. Oh, that's what this was supposed to be. So I think this was supposed to be here. Okay. Okay. Now I think I know what this was actually supposed to be. But yeah, figuring that stuff out has been, it's a process. And obviously, a lot of people are probably, like, better at this type of thing than I am. But it has been a marked improvement in, like, a lot of my stuff. Especially when it comes to my own personal website, because again, I copy and paste all text everywhere, including my website. And the website's actually been also partially my storage when it comes to a lot of the alt text. I will frequently repeat posted images, so I end up copying like alt text of old images, and whenever there's like a thing like, oh, post your yellow art or post the fan art that you made years ago, I'll have that archive of art on my website. I find the art piece. If it doesn't have alt text, I end up doing, I knock out the tedious work of putting, writing new alt text for a website, for my website that I wouldn't have done on my own. And I post it online. I get, like, the slight engagement on Blue Sky. So, that's been pretty nice. Now, majority of, I guess, a lot of my Blue Sky posts these days have just been reposting old art, because I think I've kind of, like, been trying to give myself more of a reason to just paint, or at least try to complete more artwork instead of just drawing sketches and line art and stuff like that. I mean, I'm told people like my sketches when I post daily sketches and things like that, but I feel like I plateau when it comes to a lot of these sketches, so I tend to be more gun shy when it comes to a lot of these I guess pencil sketch posts. I don't know how I can explain it, but I try to at least post something more finished, even though that's such a lot, because I haven't posted anything like significant in a long time. Okay. Oh yeah. Another thing that I've kind of just been doing, I guess, in my spare time is playing Mina the Hollower. And that game is kind of hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That game is, you know, it's a top-down Castlevania game for those who haven't heard of Yacht Club's new game, which is, you know, the same devs as Shovel Knight. But essentially, Mina the Hollower is a top-down Castlevania game. It's got elements of Link Awakening, which was I guess my initial like thoughts of what Mina the Hollower was, but it has much more in tune with like Castlevania, which is why I kind of like picked the whip as my first weapon. And you know, things have kind of just been okay. Managing the spacing with the whip and stuff like that is a big important skill with that game. So you have to be on your high alert when it comes to doing these, you know, picking a weapon in that game and try just getting good with Mina the Hollower. It's, you know, it's still tough to get over because I'm still kind of in the beginning areas, so I'm kind of just really just getting my butt kicked in this game. Arguably, I am not good at a lot of video games, I'd say. But honestly, you don't have to be good at video games to be a game developer. You just need to, especially a game artist. Like, I'm sure being a game artist means, you know, you understand games, but especially when I think about old RPG artists and people who make like pixel art and stuff like that, a lot of those old artists were, you know, more traditional artists. You know, this is back then before video games weren't really a big media institution. It was just a bunch of people just doing what's essentially software development, and that software just happened to be fun little games. So, you know, my chapstick. Damn it, they're over there. One moment. But yeah, I love those old school game devs. Now the music stopped. Let's try a new thing. Oh, it's just pause. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of old game devs, they were just more general artists. You know, they're probably doing magazine illustrations and book cover illustrations on the side. They're probably like working on like, you know, television, Kamen Rider, things like that. Or at least I'm thinking Japanese game devs and things like that. But, you know, they weren't people who played games. I guess maybe they played like arcade games, but other than that, I don't think you had people who were like, yes, I know video games inside and out. You know, I doubt they were knowing that. And they also ended up just having a wider variety of just artistic influences because, you know, they were, you know, they had influences outside just other video games. You know, you had painters as influences, you had artists with lives that actually had time to go outside and experience nature. That's kind of big with Yoshitaka Amano. Like, that guy is a humongous hiker and camper. Like, he is a giant grass toucher. And that's why he's just way more admirable. But yeah, I digress. Like, you know, you just have a lot of artists who aren't specifically specialized in specifically games. And I think about that a lot when it comes to how much I care so much about, I guess, the concept of being a notable, I guess, game artist, where it's like, you know, all the other artists weren't really super into making really good games through art. You know, it's you know, they're what essentially doing a job for a paycheck, because that's, you know, that's what they do. And I do want to at least try to at least adopt a mindset to at least beat my perfectionism with that, because I think one thing that I'm also constantly feeling, I guess, a sense of existential existential would probably be the word with this, because essentially I've spent a lot of my art life trying to be more of a production artist. You know, again, I want to be an animator, and you know, you dream about, you know, trying to work in like an animation studio, and essentially you're making art at a studio, but the truth is, at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of, you know, it's a bunch of corporate art. You know, you're trying to essentially appease to a mass audience, which isn't bad. Like, that's kind of like the basis of marketing. It's just when marketing decides creative decisions, that's where you're kind of just going wrong, is that you aren't really thinking creatively. Instead of thinking about the creative thing, then, or like thinking about the creative idea, but then using what's essentially like thinking about who would accept, or who, like, what message you're trying to convey to the person you're trying to put this like creative thing to. And that's the actual aspect of marketing that I keep finding that you know, that's actually making things easier to wrap my head around when it comes to how do you sell art. Well, you make the art and then you tell people about it, but specifically you tell people why that art is important to you, specifically, like why the art is important to you and why it should be important to them. Like, how can you make what you made resonate with someone else who, you know, also wants something that they can resonate with. So, you know, that can be like from like little feelings, you know, little feelings make them make them happy, make them sad, make them in awe, you know, make them cry, make them you know, make them get introspective about their life, stuff like that. Even like things like maybe I'm just going all over the place, but essentially this would work. Let's see. Let's try doing some colors. This can work, though I did let just kind of like blot it out somewhat. Actually, this looks decent. If I put color here, I could use this to break up the silhouette. I do that. That will be the shadow. And then that'll look just half decent right here. Yeah, roughly. But I could do some things like yeah, get rid of stuff here. That could be more than enough, like a nice distinct shadow. And I could probably make these colors dark green, perhaps. Nah. Like put too white, maybe? No. I think this is good enough overall. I'll have to like look at it some more. Let's see, 740. I'd probably have time to like add some like foliage at the or at least some roots at this side. Let's see, bridge. Cool angle bridge. Alright, that's that one. This one I need. If I can at least do just a basic blocking of like, oh hey, this bridge is also kind of falling into the water here, and there's a little bit of growth. Just a wee bit of like sloppy little roots. Just indicate that there is a shred of just overgrowth on this bridge. And in order to do this, you try to separate each little strand into little Ys. And that's essentially how you're able to at least get that sense of branchedness. It's a bit tough to explain, but essentially, you know, if you have easy understand splits in the foliage, you know, like two little lanes, ends up being, you know, it ends up looking convincing enough. And of course I use white to kind of just let that depict here. I could probably like add some little paths and things like that. Do stuff like that. That should at least look decent. Okay, just clean up the curve just to make it look convincing enough. Just clear out the little gaps. And hopefully this will at least make it look more interesting. This kind of works. Alright, close. Close. Okay. Kind of just looking at all my like arrests when it comes to how I can depict growth over rocks. It's not perfect, but I'm just gonna have to make this work. Sometimes I kind of have to make essentially a big blur of leaves. Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I remember playing this specific game a lot. But this was back when I was trying to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I kind of just could not wrap my head around it. So I kind of just gave up on learning Yu-Gi-Oh! But, you know, my friends still play Yu-Gi-Oh! Though a lot of them moved to Magic. Which is alright. I'm sort of understanding Magic. But, you know, I still need to just dive deeper into it. I'm a super casual Magic fan. Okay. I'm kind of like noticing that cat just has similar amount of foliage stuff, so I'm trying to at least vary it up so it's more there's like a little hierarchy when it comes to like the amount of foliage around. Like do something like this, kind of just indicate, hey, this is also kind of just obeying the backs of these bridges here. Let's do some roots that kind of just make it so this is going to look like it's a piece of brick that's supposed to go up and not just a part of this brick. Yeah, that's also a tough thing that I gotta do sometimes, is make sure that everything's clear and, you know, easy to notice. But hopefully this will at least make things look slightly better. Yeah, I'm trying to not be as crazy and retentive about the foliage, because it's not about making it look crazy good. It's about getting in the real vibes of the place and making it look like it's lived in, or at least there used to be life, but now there isn't, but life still thrives. So, you know, doing just a slight bit of environmental storytelling. Of course, this foliage just indicates, hey, passage of time. So that's kind of just how I'm trying to do this as much as I can. Ain't perfect. I'm making it work. Let's make this look like a bunch of foliage on Candace. Let's see. Make Candace look like it's coming from top down. And then kind of just give it the, maybe like a little shadow color. It's sort of working. Alright, and then I, put like a wee bit of, shadowing here. There we are. That looks pretty decent so far. It looks like it's actually sticking out. Might do some things again, just get you also sticking out. Turn into sorry. Use this to kind of just this will work. Thank you. Over. Put you over them. Good. Good. Been a while since it's saved. I'll save. Take a swig. Okay. I can add some more leaves. Because it looks like it's blend in like these other leaves. Though this is making them shine, like the roots are shining. And no, either make them dark like this, which could make it work overall. Yeah, this could work. Yeah. I think I'm gonna be tired for Crusader Con tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be fine. Probably should have took a nap before I did stream. But I hadn't streamed all week, so I'm kind of just feeling weirdly guilty about not at least doing a single stream just to do it. It's kind of funny because a lot of the week I was both feeling like streaming and both not feeling like streaming. And you know, there's a few legit reasons why I couldn't stream. My power constantly was going out at my home because of all the tornadoes. But also, you know, I'm constantly like at work, I suppose. Yeah, this doesn't look clear enough, so I'll like get you looking like leaves here. Okay. And now I'm kind of like thinking about like the clarity and like what can I do to just make this look clearer. These roots just still feel bare. I think the tough thing about learning how to draw environments is figuring out how to populate them, because yeah, essentially you're trying to like figure out, okay, what will convey this idea, but also what will convey this convincingly enough. And a lot of making it convincing is also like making it look like, you know, have the right detail, or at least have enough detail as look convincing in your personal art style. Because it's one thing to have a lot of detail in your stuff, but it's a whole other thing to be the right detail. You know, that's kind of half the reason why AI art is not exactly ideal, because essentially you're just, one, adding detail for the sake of detail, not paying attention to things like where the eye needs to lead, or, you know, what's the overall message that this thing needs to convey, and the core themes of like, okay, what's this about? You know, what is it? You know, is it anything? Should I care about it? Why should I care about it? How do I care about it? Stuff like that. And that comes with things like, details and things like that. In terms of, okay, what's these details? Well, these are how the world's built, and how the world built gets people curious about what this world's like, and what's who or what was there before the protagonists were there, stuff like that. And those are the tiny ways of how you get people invested in a world, is that you put just enough detail to just get people asking, or at least just enough to get people curious. So that can be that can be tough, especially if there's a lot of setups that you have yet to pay off. But I think with environment art, you are paying things off. You're essentially saying, okay, what is this island? It's a mystery island. How is it mysterious? Well, it's old and it has a lot of foliage in it. Alright. That's one of the tiny myriad of ways of how this could be mysterious and old. But you haven't really made anything crazy mysterious on this island. I made it look old right now, but in terms of mystery stuff, I think thinking about it more, I feel like I'm not conveying the mystery of this island as much. I think I need to relook at my storyboards again. I always say that. I have to constantly relook the writing of Black Mass and, see if I'm conveying everything right. And I never feel satisfied with what I'm doing. So I just sleep. Foliage looks okay. I think one thing that's probably just throwing me is the bricks are also a little iffy. The bricks are still fairly unclean, so maybe I'll just do a bit of bridge cleaning and kind of just get the pixel to the bridge looking a little more excuse me, cohesive. I'm sorry, I've ate a lot, and I guess my throat is, or at least my stomach just kind of hurts. Let's get rid of you. Okay, probably get rid of this spot. Now things are looking a little bit more cohesive. Not perfect, but it's making it just jaggy enough where you start kind of just questioning how this is supposed to just look. We're probably gonna do a little jaggies here. There we are. Have a wee bit of kind of just broken here. Push the black here. That should be more. Yeah. Like a wee bit of just uplift here, and use that to kind of just up. That would probably make it a tangent. What I could do. Alright. It's probably a little too smooth. I gotta smooth out the interestingness out of this. I have half of mine kind of just cover up the jank with dithering just to say, hey, this is supposed to look a little bit scuffed. Just a wee bit scuffed. Just a wee bit scuffed. I don't know what the fuck that accent is. It's faux it's faux United Kingdom accent. It's not just English or Scottish or Irish, it's the entire fucking UK. Just amalgamated into this sludge of ugly English. The general point is that's supposed to look just enough. Not too much, not too little, just enough. Just convey that this is in water. Just enough to convey that this is in water. Why aren't you painting? Oh, you are. I'm just painting the same color. Let's put you at the bottom. This is probably a tangent, but honestly, I'm not going to fret crazy much about this. actually where the surface of the water should be. Need to make this foliage like part of the bridge. This is kind of okay. I've at least gotten work on Black Mask. That's one thing that I kind of have to keep reminding myself, is that I can't constantly get upset at myself because I didn't dedicate 3 hours of a thing to Black Mask. Because maybe sometimes you just need 10 minutes, and that's okay. Sometimes you'll work on a thing for 10 minutes, other times you'll probably have an hour or 2 hours. So I was able to like get a little bit of this done. I'm gonna take a break and jump to working on some sketches of some other commissions, or at least some animatic stuff for other commissions. And I will be right back after, I guess, this like commercial. And bada boom, I return to some working on some commissions right now. So this is one of the mini commissions that I'm kind of like tackling at the moment. Currently working on a bunch of icon commissions. So this is one icon. This is another icon sketch, and this one, oh, is this? Oh, I know what's up. There it is. And this one's another one, and this is a fourth one. I usually do 4 preliminary sketches to kind of just get things, just look, figure out how I'm going to put this in pixel art. So, a new thing that I'm trying with these preliminary sketches is that I'm just starting and doing speed paints in color. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, Vision Dragon. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm currently kind of just getting started, just working on these little things right here, and kind of just seeing like little extra aspects of some thumbnail sketches. So I'm currently working on like a little animatic for one of the icons before I just get the pixel art stuff. So what I've kind of just been up to with this specific one is I'm kind of just let me see if I can knock all these away so you can kind of just see the timeline here. So essentially what I plan to do with this avatar is they'll display this, they'll have the general face, and they'll shine their claw. So if I can just find that claw again. There you are. Absolutely. Yeah, just a bunch of little armor designs. I might work on armor design today, but maybe I'll just wait until you can just drop your feedback first. Because I've also been kind of like figuring stuff out with my Move Ink Wacom tablet, my like actual portable Wacom tablet. And that's mainly how I've been able to get a lot of these like avatar stuff done, is I was just sketching on this tablet specifically. So initially I was doing it in grayscale. I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do it in color? Because I'm going to essentially need to color this in the first place. And it's also, I guess, among my need to refine what it means to work on a thing. Like, you start with a line art, and then you go to color, and then you actually like refine and stuff like that. But I'm kind of like, you know what? Why don't I just start it in color with like the initial sketch, and and not just do the initial sketch, but like do like an initial speed paint. So a lot of these were like very rough, like 30-minute like paints. And I was doing it with what's essentially a just a crappy little like a round brush here. So I was essentially just fumbling around with brushes like this. Like it's my just default round brush, but I kind of just adjusted the you know, the flatness and stuff, so it's essentially just similar to my markers. I'll just futzing around with this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put a claw here, because currently it just doesn't actually have another thing besides that. So I'm going to try to like add some like claw animation here just to see if that would work. So I have this here, so I'm gonna see if I can add a claw animation with this as well. So one thing that's been pretty interesting teaching myself Clip Studio's animation tools is that the weird layering thing with it can be tough to, I guess, grasp. So, because you have both the animation timeline, but you also have the general like layers and things like that. If I can find the layers. That's not the layers. The heck are the layers? Did I accidentally... Are these the layers? No. Where the hell the layers go? Animation cells, tool properties, layer property. Did the layers just vanish? I guess not. Okay. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the icon animation has been like me kind of just figuring out how that's gonna work. So now I'm kind of just seeing, okay, what can I refine this before I actually like dive this into pixel art and stuff like that. And honestly, because I've been doing stuff like this, I'm like, oh, this could actually just work as a general icon, like a general like sketch icon. Like if I cleaned this up, and I kind of did. I think what I did, like, put more effort into sketches than I probably should, but that's also kind of just one of those things where I am trying to like put a little evolution to my art, where I'm trying to kind of just I guess get more into a painterly style overall, because I think I've been having a sense of I don't know if I could say like an existential crisis when it comes to the direction of how I do art in general, because some days I feel like, oh, I'm totally fine just doodling, but other times I kind of just feel as if I'm kind of just hitting a rut. So doing stuff like this has been me kind of like trying to just do, you know, how can I make my art different than how I've done it previously. So one thing that's been helpful is kind of just starting on like a painter like style, as opposed to just simply just making line art and then doing coloring and then coloring that line art. Because yeah, I've been doing stuff like that forever, but ever since I got my Move ink, I was like, you know what, it's frustrating to ink on a tablet. So I'm like, you know what, maybe these tablets are just more fine-tuned for just painting specifically. So currently I'm just trying out painting with a tablet, just actual full-on, you are putting brush to paint and not getting pissed if you don't have a precise line. So that's essentially just what this is me trying to just forgive myself for fucking up. So hopefully this will look decent-ish. And then, you know, you have like the general line here. Right here, and then I'm probably like putting in way too much effort into this. That's also another thing. This is supposed to be a 30-minute sketch in general. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's also another thing that I'm also trying to just get myself to get more into the mindset of, is not being crazy hard on myself when it comes to making crazy exceptional artwork. Because at the end of the day, art's supposed to be this fun thing. And I guess I've been reminded of that by YouTube channels like Painting Therapy. So for those who don't know about Painting Therapy, essentially it's this guy who basically does Bob Ross style paintings. Well, not style paintings, but like does Bob Ross style just painting commentaries. He paints a landscape and he kind of like just has really calm commentary similar to Bob Ross, but not like, you know, he's doing his own spin on it. And he's pretty unique with that, because yeah, a lot of the stuff that he kind of like tries to kind of just explain to you is not like getting crazy fretful about having crazy precise brush strokes or trying to make really perfect art, especially with painting, because painting, you're supposed to just let the paint speak for itself and not just constantly white knuckle every stroke. And I mean, so far it has been helpful. It has been getting me to just get through stuff faster. Like, I was able to make something that looked like this. I'm looking at my like little like toggle clock. I'm actually like do like an extra claw in 10 minutes. It already just looks decent enough. So, you know, just, you know, it's, you know, that's pretty mind-blowing. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to see if I can't animate this claw. So, with Clip Studio's animation features, I haven't really like done anything like insanely difficult with this. I've been so I use this layer and I add some extra, like I make it so it's keyframeable. So I'll do things like probably put one keyframe here, and then add in. Oh. Yeah, Painting Therapy has been pretty great in general for kind of just getting yourself in the mindset of not putting crazy pressure on yourself for, you know, just an art piece. So I'm pretty happy with things like Painting Therapy. And obviously I do, you know, sometimes I watch the Bob Ross Twitch channel, but you know, sometimes I kind of like, yeah, that's a decent amount of Bob Ross, and yeah, I kind of just move on to other stuff, because I guess I don't normally watch a lot of streams in general. Like, there are some friends I watch, but other than that, I kind of just do other things. Alright, so what I could do with this, put this down, but better yet, okay, so you're supposed to be all the way down, and I returned. Pardon me with that, I had to help with some family stuff. But yeah, you went out to a meet. Yeah, I'll check you later. Yeah, I myself am going to a little convention next tomorrow, so I'll probably wrap the stream early because I need to go to sleep because I have to drive all the way to Indiana. But okay, so Uh-oh, why is the tablet not working? Come on, laughing tablet. We will reset you. Alright, you gonna work now? Okay. So what are we doing right now? Alright, so what I'm going to do is do a fast little like copy. And where this is gonna go. I'm also going to do like a alternate little like ting type thing. Let's see. Okay, that's too much. I think what I'll do is probably like push this to maybe like 32. Alright. Oh, crap, he vanished. Yeah. Okay. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. Yes, I'll be doing in-betweens in the pixel art. So, this is a rough animatic with this, but right, if in the actual pixel art, like when I'm doing it in Aseprite, this will be actually in, I'll actually in between everything. Because I could probably do something. Okay, boom, boom. Move these two. And then have it so the claw goes down. And that, like, that will go for loop. And I think I'm going to add a third sparkle for the eye. And what I'm going to do with this eye, I'm actually going to color this eye like the same color as the red. That way. And we like stretch you out just a bit higher as a color. Yeah, that'll work. That looks okay. Oh, I know what I could do. Reverse this order. So put this here. And like switch the order of the frames. Maybe it's a little too gaudy. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's a little too gaudy. Like, sparkle, sparkle, bing. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, ping, ping. Shink, ping, ping, ping. Shink, ping, ping, ping. Shink, ping, ping, ping. Shink, ping, ping, ping. Cause yeah, I plan to have this phase be the general idle animation, and then have the claw pop out and maybe like have like the brow furrow a bit, because this is like the skull is supposed to be a mask, like she's wearing a skull mask as like, a little like thief thing. So, and there's actually a end to these claws. Like I'm gonna draw the rest of the I'm gonna draw like the claws actually pointing out instead of like them ending at the blunt part. So that's going to be how that goes. But I think this will work. So what I'm gonna do is export this animation as a image GIF. Put this in my whips, and then I'll send it out to my actual client. That should work. Okay. Oh yeah, it's starting to work, like the stair step sparkle thing, and that way, and then yeah, that'll look good. All right, I'm making it work. So yeah, this is variant 2, and then variant 1 that I did. Yeah, there's variant 1, variant 2, variant 3, and then variant 4. So that's kind of just the 4 little variants that he can choose from. And I'll admit I'm probably putting more effort into this than I guess I should, but honestly, it's one of those things where obviously I want to at least make these high effort. I have had a bit of a flack about my commission prices being too expensive, and I have pondered, am I too expensive? But I'm like, no, if I'm good enough, the prices will be worth it. So I think the big thing to work on for me is just get myself so good that, you know, the people are fine with paying those prices. So I guess that's the general justification for that. So make another claw animation. Right, shing. Okay. Yeah. Okay, have the background stretch here. And this is me figuring out Clip Studio Paint or Clip Studio Paint animation tools just live on stream. I am basically learning how on earth this timeline stuff works just right here, right now. I've done rough frame by frame things, but I never animate on Clip Studio Paint at all. Most of my animation output has been Aseprite. It's Aseprite or nothing. So I will probably have this start here. And probably just have this entire thing, so do something like this. Then have the claws up here. And then have the underside of the claw just down here. And that can work. Do some very light shading. Do the roughest shine. And try not to just get crazy precious about how much it's supposed to shine. It's just supposed to be a big rough out of, you know, what would be a you know, what should be a I think it'll take some time getting used to the timeline, which shouldn't be too hard at all. Yeah, I think one thing that was initially just throwing me for a moment is that you actually do need to sometimes right click and click insert frame. And when you insert or no, not insert frame, but insert a I actually have to click so another thing that's also kind of been throwing me for a short time is creating animation folders. I think when you're creating an animation folder, you're also creating animation cells, and that counts as, you know, how you know, it makes its animations. Thing is, if you already made layers, you kind of sort of already made animation folders, so you don't have to worry about that too much. So it's a weird thing that I'm kind of like trying to just figure out as I go, but right now it seems like I think I'm getting it. Okay. Again, I need to remember to just make a larger brush. I think I've totally been making strides with just making my round brush as slightly flatter as a brush, because I'm made the brush slightly flatter, but I've also angled it the way, I usually just have my hand angled. And I feel like I've been getting more results through just generally just drawing faster, or not just drawing faster, but like drawing and being more accurate to my strokes, because there have been a lot of times where I felt frustrated that my like the tablet's not one-to-one with all my drawing strokes. That was kind of half the reason why I hated drawing my iPad, because ironically the iPad has the ability to rotate the barrel, which is something that I actually totally love about the iPad, but it's not as accurate as I really want it to be. Like when you actually have a physical brush pen and you rotate the pen, especially if you have an actual physical flat paintbrush, you can rotate the paintbrush so that you can work with the flat side or the thin side whenever you like, and you can easily rotate the brush itself, as opposed to meaning to overall rotate the entire canvas to get things like flats, but then having thin lines and stuff like that. Like on a physical paintbrush, I was able to just do that with just the pen. And of course I could rotate that canvas, but I obviously don't make it a thing to rotate that canvas because there's paint on it, man. You don't do that. But that was essentially just a big thing I was just, I guess, frustrated with digital art with. And that was kind of just the big bugbear of mine, is just the digital tools weren't as one-to-one with my traditional tools. And no matter how much I adjusted the pen settings, especially with the iPad, no matter how much I was trying to just readjust the curve settings in Procreate, it still just ended up not being as absolutely accurate as I wanted it to be. You know, that's what I could do here, because what I actually want to do is copy and paste the eye. Yeah, copy and paste the eye, and then just move the eye. Yep, move the eye here. Alright. Make it more of a copy paste eye. This is a cut and paste eye. And copy V, and that way I can just keep that the same, but then adjust this. So what I'm gonna do is overcolor this. Oops. Why is the brush not going where I want it? Yeah, this will work. Alright, paint over this, but also just put the eye here. Yeah, again, I am getting more precious than I should be. I'm getting way more precious than I should be. Because essentially I just want to just look like this. Alright, how we doing? Okay. I think I know what I need to do here. So, copy and paste everything. Copy you. And put you here. Alright, how we looking? Okay, so far so good. Then we put the actual, like, well, we just copy paste it, but then just move you, make this, just refine the color, so. Make you blue, but then make you like the lightest possible blue. Just for the lamels. Oops. And then put another one blue. And we do a similar stair-steppy. So I put this in the wrong spot. Okay. Do like a little like curl thing here. Maybe like move you up. Move you here, and then that'll be a nice like stair step here. Too fast. Now I gotta like space them a little bit. Shing. Yeah, rework the time with the eye. Move the eye sometime around here. All right, this will work. Shing, ping, ping, ping. 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 Okay, it's working, dogs. Shing, ping, ping, ping. Shing. I still feel like I could go like way slower. Okay. Also, I still need to add the like little like tween here, so let me just do this. Pushes me like 1-2 frames back. With add a keyframe here, add keyframe here, add end keyframe here, add the moment where the weapon needs to go down, add a moment where the weapon needs to be back. Alright, and then we move you back that way and just go a bit more like as a jut out. This would probably like have a bit of a longer pause. Probably do something like that. And just have you rotate out of frame. And that'll be the loop. Yeah, again, it's a little fast, but it conveys the idea, I'd say. Yes, I'm nodding right now. Shing, ping, ping, ping. Shing, ping, ping, ping. All right, I think I'm doing better than how we used to do with the previous ones, because these initial ones right here. Oh yeah. These are the ones in this much slower thing. Just had like a simple blink here. Honestly, I could probably like expand this so it's a little slower. Expand you so you're slightly longer. Yeah, just get everything just much longer. Alright. Probably like have you a little longer. Yeah, have the hold. Yeah, have the hold here. Yeah, I'm gonna frickin' merge these because it's kind of drive me nuts. Oh. Yeah, just merge this frickin' folder here. And just make you just stretch the entire thing. Alright, how are we looking here? Alright, maybe like a shing ping, shing ping, shing. Yeah, have like a slower thing. Shing, shing. Okay. I'm doing the sound effect earlier, so that means I'm kind of like anticipating it a little bit. Yeah. I don't do a lot of like animation, I don't do a lot of like animation charts. I kind of just personally just eyeball it by replaying it all the time. Shing ping, shing ping, shing ping. Yeah. And I kind of just feel for through vibes. And I believe with Clip Studio, it has its own like curves editor. So if I click on this graph editor that's on this like top top left corner in the timeline section, I can switch the graph editor, which shows me like the little curves and stuff like that. And I believe you can do things like adjust, like curve the handles so they have like a smoother transition. But I'm not really doing that because I'm doing the rest of the animation in pixel art, so I'm not gonna fret too much about it. I'm just trying to essentially just do preliminary animation. Shing ping, shing ping ping, shing ping. Yeah, I've never gotten used to that yet. Yeah, graph editors can be complicated. I was experienced with graph editors from my 3D modeling class, dealing with like the curves and stuff like that, but even then it was kind of just tough to get through. Yeah, a lot of my 3D knowledge has kind of just fallen away for me because I didn't do a lot of 3D animation in general, not even like at a studio or nothing. Because the first foray into 3D animation in college was in 3D Studio Max, and that was essentially, I guess, the 3D modeling program before Maya. And I could argue that we were using more outdated technology than I guess, quote unquote, the industry. And honestly, that was very true. Like, everyone in California was using Maya. Meanwhile, in Chicago, like we were still doing Autodesk Max, because a lot of studios, which was a bunch of casinos and stuff like that, they were using Autodesk Max. And actually no, I think NetherRealm was using Maya, but I'm not sure. I'd probably need to find out from someone. But yeah, learning 3D in college kind of poisoned my will to like 3D, because I was kind of just taught 3D in a way that kind of just made me kind of just not like learning 3D modeling. So I kind of just let it fall away, because I was like, at the time it takes me to like do modeling, rigging, and animating, I could have drawn this character like 12 times or something like that, you know? I wonder if I could like make that shine lower. Oh, you can put the shine lower, that would draw it to the eye. Okay. The line like takes it there. Okay. Shing-ping. Shing-ping. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I still have an eye for learning 3D. Like, I like seeing low poly 3D models. Plus, I also like seeing people's 3D prints of stuff. And I guess my own, like, tiny pipe dream is to make my own action figure. Okay. Yeah, you could go a little slower. Okay, so we'll just get you here, stretch you some more, maybe like nudge you further back. Again, you're kind of like selecting this. That is the convenient aspect of like these nodes and stuff like that. Okay. I like shing ping. Okay. I think one thing that I could also try is I'm gonna make another layer. I'm going to make it so her eyes are closed. So probably like yeah, probably like have the entire thing so her eyes are completely closed. And we're just gonna put it in black, all of it. Just have that covered. Okay. Shing ping. Okay. And I think if I copy those reds, move them up here, but also put them here, put them where the eyes are. And I gotta just merge these layers below here. Move the timeline so it's like this. Oh, I know what I could do. Make the claw ink, and then have the eyes open. Okay, I think I'm cooking. Probably would do a thing where probably like have the eyes open before and then kind of like then glow. Put you here. Shing ping ching. Shing ping. Shing ping ping. There'd probably be a longer hold here. I like to do something like this. Stretch it here. This might work. Okay, this is looking decent. I'm actually really happy with what I'm doing with this. Shing ping ping, shing ping ping, shing ping ping, shing ping ping, shing ping ping. Okay, this is, I'm liking the rhythm of this, so I'm going to export this GIF, send it to my client, and they'll probably dig them all. You know, that's kind of one of those things where it's like, this is all just looking 10 out of 10, really. Yeah, just export the GIF. Dupe. I'd rather just do that. Yeah, just export just all these animatics. Oh, I have to pause to export these. Put this and all that back there. But hopefully tomorrow, or at least not tomorrow, but just next time I do stream, I'm gonna get these characters in an actual pixel art thing, and then that'll be that. Let's see, you the right one? Yeah, I already got you. Or maybe I didn't. I think I did this already. Yeah, let me export this animation as well. Did I do this already? I'll just put you on 1C. No, I think I already export you. Yeah, well. Oh yeah, I think I know what's up with you. I think I want to expand you, actually. I'll probably like nudge you even longer. Get you here. Oh, the background's not like absolute. Move you down here. Ah, I was like, why does it go back to this? Well, this is why. Come on, why aren't you moving? Alright. Excuse me. Bing bing. Bing bing bing. Bing bing bing. Alright, that's looking decent. export the animation. I mean, overall, these look good as like just general. These look good as just general icons. Like I could export this. It's one of those things where I was like, I could probably just do like stream sketch commissions for cheaper. If I just do that. I think if I just did these as bad tweens, this could be just unrefined sketch commissions. Alright. This is a lot for just getting Animatic down. I kind of like worked on this for an entire hour. But I did like get another like 4 variations going, so I'll pass that to my client. I was going to work on some other preliminary like armor sketches. Like I was working on another client's commissions here, because this character has multiple different like armor types. This is armor 4. What the? Body. I haven't named this. Baddie. Yes, I have multiple different armors, and for some reason they're not all here. Fuck, are they in the other files? Well, I mean, I got these preliminary sketches, and I was actually initially like sketching like this, just using my general like charcoal brushes. But then I kind of just got the, I guess, the wise idea to be like, why am I just being so precious about just all the layering when I could just paint on top? And like being crazy precise without the line art and being gray when I could just color it just right off the bat. It's not like I'm wasting paint. So doing stuff like this just became the start of me just actually just sketching in the color phase. So I'll just have to come back to this another time. Yeah, because there's other designs. I'll probably like wait till my client drops me feedback, which is Vishki, who showed up much earlier. But yeah. I actually need to just go to bed because it's already 9:18 and I need to wake up early to drive all the way to Indiana. But I'd say next time you come to this stream, this will be in pixel art, and one of these will be in pixel art. I'm not sure which one, because he's only going to be picking one. But you know, whatever these will be in pixel art. I think I'll probably get started sketching on the other commissions that I got, and I will probably get even more commissions at my time, but they should be much shorter because they're paper commissions. Anyway, I need to go to sleep now, and I will be posting an archive of this YouTube channel on the Mastafran Art Stream YouTube archive, and that's essentially just where I just stash all these for anyone, you know, who missed out on these streams. I post them on YouTube as like a archive channel. It's not my main like Mastafran channel, it's a side channel. It's linked in there. But yes, I will see you all next time. Have a good night, and I'll see you all later.